What's going on, guys? My name is Dom Valley, and I'm the proud newest member of the Hiscan media team. We're super excited to bring you all the best content from the Caps and around the football world. But before we get started this episode, we at Hiscan would like to take a moment to express our support for the Black Lives Matter movement and the Black community. What happened to George Floyd and others before him, the oppression that the Black community faces daily around the world, and the white privilege that stems from roots of systemic racism has to come to an end. This problem is prominent in America right now with recent events, but it's also real life in Canada. As a society, we need to use this as a wake-up call and educate ourselves on how we can be a better, more inclusive society moving forward. We stand with the Black community and other minority groups that continue to fall victim and support the peaceful protests that aim to result in change. With that being said, let's move on and check out what's been going on around the football world. Alphonso Davies, the kid who got his start with the Whitecaps as more of an attacking winger, has absolutely flourished at world powerhouse Bayern Munich as a left back. His play was recently rewarded with a contract extension that will see the Canadian international stick with the club through 2025. Davies said in a statement on the FC Bayern website, "I'm very happy. Bayern is one of the best clubs in the world, and for me it's a dream come true to play here. I felt happy from day one." It wasn't hard for the young star to get comfortable and shine when he finally got his shot to play. First starting to really turn heads with his pacey, standout performance in the Champions League against Chelsea last season. Once he proved he could play with the best of the best, it didn't take long for him to become a staple in the Bayern lineup. You don't see too many youngsters look that comfortable that quickly. That leaves both Davies and Bayern very satisfied and excited for the future. Davies said, "I want to win as many titles as possible with this club. The mentality of always wanting to win everything, it's in FC Bayern's DNA." Alphonso's Team Canada coach John Herdman was also excited to hear the news, saying, "It's a perfect environment for Alphonso." Davies has endeared himself to the fans of his new club, not only on the pitch, but off it too. Much like his time in Vancouver, nothing but good things are said about Davies' engagement with the fans and involvement in the community. When the season was halted due to COVID, Davies had already made 31 competitive appearances for Bayern, playing great defense and contributing on offense with a goal and 8 assists. Since the return of the league, Davies hasn't missed a step. He continues to play great defense and has played in every minute of every game since their return. He's also contributed 2 goals and an assist. Davies and the German Giants continue to chug along as they sit atop the Bundesliga standings. And as the Bundesliga continues to roll, MLS fans still await their return. When the Whitecaps finally hit that pitch again, fans might totally forget what type of team they should expect to hit that field. So, with that being said, let's take a little refresher. The season began with a loss to a strong Sporting Kansas City side that is expected to have a good season. They followed it up with a gritty 1-0 win in LA against a good Galaxy team. So what did we learn about this year's Caps in those opening games? For one, they're going to work hard. There aren't many guys on the team who pop out to you as just a pure goal scorer or a super skilled player like you see when looking at some rosters around the league. That isn't to say they don't have players very capable of doing these things, but in general, this team will be more known for its hard work in defense. Following an opening game in which things didn't really click on either side of the ball, the Caps players responded with a road game where they did little things like close out hard on the ball and limiting their opponent's time and space. They understood the game plan and what players they needed to shut down to be effective. In that game, it was Chicharito, and they did a great job of shutting him down. The team played strong defense and didn't try to press for their goals. They waited for their offensive opportunities to come from their sound defensive play. I think this will be a major foundation for the team this year. Don't worry, fans, I'm not advocating for a slow, boring game. This style can still be fun, and the offense will continue to grow as players get more comfortable in the system and gain confidence in their abilities. The Whitecaps are now back in training. Players have been working out together on the UBC grounds but still aren't allowed within close contact of one another. Freddie Montero recently did an Instagram Live on the Caps page and said the new changes and regulations have been very strange, but it just feels great to be back on the field training after weeks away. Another player very excited to be back on the pitch with the boys is Erik Godoy. We recently had the chance to sit down for an awesome lengthy interview with Erik, who signed a permanent contract with the Caps prior to the season after coming over as a loan player last year. The Caps didn't hesitate to sign Godoy after he put together a season in which he was among the league leaders in blocked shots and clearances and started 30 out of a possible 31 games he was available for. Godoy said that last year was tough because the team was in a rebuilding mode with a lot of new faces from a lot of different nationalities. Despite the struggles, Godoy says he really appreciated the warm welcome and support he got from the city and the fans, as well as the players and the coaching staff. He believes that the main reason the team wanted to keep him around was the fact that he showed up every single day and gave it his all, in training and in games. Godoy can back that claim up with the fact that he won the team's Unsung Hero Award last season. This award is given out to a player who works hard and does all the little things that might go unnoticed on the stat sheet and untalked about in the media. When asked about how he stays not only mentally ready for these games, but also physically fit, he credited a healthy combination of working hard and staying focused in practice, eating right off the pitch, and making sure he always has at least 8 hours of sleep. When watching his teammates from afar beat LA in their last game, Godoy said he saw a difference in fitness level and style of play that he was very impressed with and thinks the team needs to remember that game and keep the same mentality when he rejoins them when the season resumes. We were super excited to chat with Erik Godoy, but we weren't the only ones. We asked you guys, the fans, to send in some questions of your own. We'll be doing this segment every episode and calling it Up to the Fans, so keep your eyes peeled to our Instagram for the next chance when questions come around. For now, let's check out some questions you guys had for Erik. Strang Photo asked, what's the story behind the badass ink? Erik explained his favorite ones. The tiger on his shoulder is his favorite animal and also represents the first Division I club he played for back home. The number 2 on his wrist because in football, he's always worn either number 2 or 22. The soccer ball also on his shoulder for the love of the game. And finally, his date of birth on his bicep and right underneath it, the name of the first club he played for as a child. Joanna B. asked, what do you think the Caps need to work on to be successful this coming season? Erik said he thinks they have a better team. The new young players that have come on have done well and caught on quick. We also have to maintain the idea and plans of the coaches, he added. We need better ball position so that teams aren't always attacking us and so that we have better chances to attack ourselves. Patagoul asked, if you had to start your soccer career over again, would you rather start it in Canada or Argentina? Godoy said Argentina. He believes that the environment he grew up in made him tough and created the player that he is today. He grew up with not much but had a big love for the game and knew its importance in his life. That's why he leaves everything he has out on the pitch every game. Patagoul also asked, what's the difference you see in the soccer game from Argentina and Canada? Godoy said soccer in Argentina is much more aggressive. You have less time and space with the ball. Here there is less pressure and you can have more time and space. I think this is why I was able to have success in playing every match. He added that the MLS is getting better and adding great players to the league all the time. 604 Brooke asked, what's your favorite Latin food? Erik laughed and said, a simple Argentinian barbecue.
Y como soy argentino, tengo que decir el asado. La carne, meat.
Let's call this last segment Up to the Minute. I've got a bunch of topics on my notepad here. Let's put a minute on that clock and see what we can get through. The Whitecaps and Vancouver Aquarium have teamed up to sell high-performance athletic face masks. All proceeds are benefiting the aquarium in their time of need. More than $1 million worth of masks have been sold. A boost for Canadian soccer recently as Alphonso Davies was listed to have a top 10 transfer price in the entire world. Fan favorite Gershon Kofi recently sat down for an interview with Piccolo Ocampo and told him that winning the Canadian Championship was his most fond memory as a Cap. He said, before this we would always lose in the final and I couldn't take it anymore. Winning that night was everything to me. Fans have been getting into the game during quarantine with the Train with MLS program. The online experience features training videos from MLS clubs for parents, coaches, and players of all ages and abilities. Football fans of European leagues rejoice as La Liga, the Premier League, and Serie A all return in the next coming weeks. All MLS clubs are now training, but social distancing protocols are still in place. It looks like that's all we're going to get through on this Up to the Minute, and that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this whole show. I had a great time hosting for the first time. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Keep your eyes posted to our IG story for questions on the next Up to the Fans segment and to keep up with the content as we near closer to the Caps' return. Take care, everybody.